What was my first breakfast in Kurdistan? یەکەم نانی بەیانیم چی بوو لە کوردستان? Listen to this true story from my time in Kurdistan. And at the end, we'll focus on some important vocabulary that can help you as an English student. Ba dest pê bikên? Let's get started. I arrived in Kurdistan for the first time in November 2007. Lamangi Yanza, Sali Duazaru Haut. Our flight landed very early in the morning, when it was still dark. After a few hours of sleep, our office volunteer said that he could take us to Saholaka to have breakfast. We were living and working in the neighborhood of Ali Naji, and so it was only a short walk. Because it was the beginning of November, the weather was still very nice. I enjoyed walking through the streets of Slemani for the first time and seeing many new things. After a 5-minute walk, we arrived at Saholaka, a famous area of Slemani, full of cafes, shops, and restaurants. I learned that its name, Saholaka, means the ice, because of an ice factory that used to be there. Our office volunteer led us to a food cart, which had a large steaming pot on it, full of something that smelled delicious. It was a pot of nokau, of yellow chickpea soup. He ordered a bowl of nokau for each of us, along with a loaf of samun bread. Then we drank some chai together. That bowl of nokau with the samun and that glass of chai was the first breakfast that I had in Kurdistan. As I ate it, I thought to myself, I'm going to enjoy the food in this country. And that's exactly what happened. I've always loved Kurdish food, especially Kurdish breakfast. Mama Gyan, I hope you know that Kurdish breakfast is one of the most delicious breakfasts in the whole world. Some fried eggs, hilkeron, some walnuts, guez, some honey, hanguin, with fresh cream, qaymahi fresh, zor balazada. And Mama Gyan, if you enjoyed this story, then don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Agar chیرۆکە خۆش بوو بێت بۆ تۆ، بالا بیرت نەچێت، subscribe کە بۆ kanala. Zor spas. Now, let's learn some helpful vocabulary words from this story. First, I said that we lived and worked in the neighborhood of Ali Naji. The word in Kurdish for neighborhood is garak. A neighborhood is one part of a city where people live together. Don't confuse neighborhood with neighbor. Neighbor is drause, or if you're Hauleri, neighbor is jiran. Neighbor is a person. Neighborhood is a place, a part of a city. My friend who took us to Saholaka was a volunteer. A volunteer is a khobakhish, someone who helps an organization or a company for free and to gain experience, but not for a salary. I said that the name of Saholaka comes from an old ice factory. A factory is a karga, a place where products are made. That factory made ice. The volunteer led us to a food cart. A food cart is an arabane khwardin. This is a small cart with wheels that is used to sell food on the street. A food cart is smaller than a food truck, which is smaller than a restaurant. On the food cart, there was a steaming pot, which is a manjali kulao. This is what the chickpea soup, the nokau, was cooked in. Were any of these vocab words new for you? Be sure to write down any new words that you don't want to forget and try to practice them today in your English conversations. And because I'm in America and not in Kurdistan, please eat some Kurdish breakfast for my sake. Bo khatri min, nani bayani kurdi bikho. Until tomorrow, hatasvene, khwa hafiz.